my wife had an affair, a biracial affair, had a child, led me to believe that the child was mine all the way up to he was 3 months old. Got all my hopes up and everything. And then that don't end there. Prior to that, she had several affairs with my friends.
Oh, wait a minute.
Sent me to jail.
Several affairs with your friends?
With my best
You're having
friends.
affairs with friends, Mrs. Tillman?
No, that's not true.
An affair is
That
bad
is true.
enough,
It's
but a
very
friend?
true.
That's not true.
What's this about the baby being biracial and not his child?
Well, the baby is biracial. It's not his.
Is this your husband?
Yes, it is.
I have a
Did you tell him
photograph
that it
of
was
the
his
baby,
child?
Your Honor.
Well, yeah, I believed it was when I was pregnant.
Why did you believe that? Because you wanted it to be?
No, I believed it. You know, it might have been. I wasn't, 100% sure, but
She knew the
You're
whole
not
time.
16 years old and you're trying to figure out it may be and it may not be and you got to toss a coin.
She knew the whole
and figure.
time,
Hold
Your
on,
Honor.
Mr. Tillman. Don't talk when I'm talking. You have to toss a coin to determine whether a child is your husband's or somebody else's.
Well, I wasn't sure. It could have been, and then it could not have been. I wasn't sure.
Well, why wasn't I
Take me
told
back
this?
to the beginning of this. How did you ever get to this situation in the first place, where it could have been, it could not have been? What happened to marriage being only one person at a time, your husband or your spouse? Take me back to the beginning. How did we get here?
Well, he just didn't pay no attention to me.
Didn't pay no attention to you.
Mr. Tillman?
Yeah, I did.
We were
Didn't pay-
married. You don't need to go to another man to seek attention. You need to seek me for attention.
Well, that's what she's saying. You didn't give her
I
any
was there
attention.
for her, Your Honor, through the whole thing. I give her love. I give her support. She never had. When she worked, it was for her own money, not because she had to pay bills. I give her affection, love, and then
How
she
did
does
you
this
do
to
all
me.
of this?
We had passionate nights. We go out to dinner. We go out to friend's house. We was always together.
And she told you when she got pregnant that it was your baby?
No, she told me that. When she got pregnant, she told me it was my baby the whole time.
Were
asked
you
her several
excited? How
times.
did you feel about that?
I was on top of the world. My company was glad when the baby was born because I talked about him so much. That's all I talked about was the baby.
And how long had you been married when this pregnancy occurred?
9 years.
So you waited 9 years for a child to be your child just to find out it's somebody else's.
Right.
Now, was there something kind of medical problem that led you to believe that you couldn't have a child?
When I was 9, I had an accident, and at that time they told me that I would be sterile. But I never had any tests done to prove that.
So that was at 9 years old?
That was at 9 years old.
So you were really ecstatic to know that you were about to be a father.
I was on top of the world, John. I went out, I bought everything for this baby. I built a nursery. I did everything for this baby.
Just to be deceived?
Just to be hurt. And then the way she told me was another story.
How did she tell you?
We was at her sister's at a party, and on the way home, she had too much to drink, so I told her to drive with me.
She had too much to drink?
Too much to drink. And then on the way home, she says, well, you think you all that? I don't want to leave. And to tell you the truth, that ain't even your baby. You can't even have a baby.
And it didn't happen that way.
That's exactly what you told me.
It didn't happen.
Ms. Tillman, that sounds like the most deceitful, hurting, angry, vicious thing a woman could ever do to a man or a person could do to a human being.
Well, it was hard for me,
What was hard for you?
I stayed when she had the baby, I stayed at the hospital.
Wait a minute. She said, what was hard for you?
Well, when I went through, not knowing, I wanted to tell him.
Oh, spare me. Hard for you. How could you live through 9 months without even saying to him, I'm not sure?
That's what I couldn't understand. Why wouldn't it, there was a doubt put in there that it could not be mine.
And now you're certain that it's not?
Yeah, well.
Why are you so certain now?
Well, he's biracial.
So how long did you think you could carry out this deception?
I really didn't know.
And you really didn't care?
Yeah, I did care. I did care,
Really?
I love my child.
Tell me how much you cared.
Well, I love my child. He's the main thing of all this.
But not only did you deceive Mr. Tillman, you deceived the child's father because you didn't tell him obviously either.
He knew.
Oh, so you told the father that you were pregnant?
But
yes,
didn't tell me.
What was his response? Was it the same as Mr. Tillman's?
Oh, no, he didn't even care. He said it wasn't his.
He had a fit, huh? The other way.
Yeah, he did.
Call you a bunch of lying, cheating, deceitful, get out of here. The affair is over. I don't care for you much more. I'm not as excited about you as I was. Suddenly he wasn't as attentive as he had been before, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that all did change.
He was out of here, right?
Oh yeah.
Right.
So
Definitely. He
that-
don't want nothing to do with the baby or anything.
A
So
week
that
after he was
explains
born.
why you never told Mr. Tillman that he wasn't the father. Because Mr. Tillman was being attentive at that point. Mr. Tillman was being a provider. Mr. Tillman was still going to the hospital and the doctors with you, and he was all excited about the baby.
Well,
and
yeah,
then
he
you
was
needed Mr.
excited.
Tillman, huh?
Well,
Right.
no.
And still needs me. I still take care of the baby.
Well,
and
no,
her.
that's wrong. I take care of my child.
Do you
I
feel any
live by
remorse for
myself.
this at all?
Yeah, I do.
Explain it.
I mean,
Because you got a smile on your face to me and a little smirk. Doesn't look like you seem too remorseful to me.
Well, I mean, I feel bad and terrible that it happened, that I hurt him and everything. But I mean, I love my child. Right now, the only thing that matters is him, and
She's
I'll
never
work
come
and
up
take
and
care
said,
of him.
look, I'm sorry for what happened. I'm sorry
Yes,
I
I
hurt
have.
you. You've never said that at all, you know.
Well, I have.
Only thing you said is, I need $10 for diapers.
What happens now that the father said, goodbye, I don't want to be bothered. I'm not thinking about being a father to this child. And if Mr. Tillman were to take the same position and say, goodbye, I don't want to be a father to this child, it leaves this child fatherless. You're not thinking about the child. You're being selfish. You were only thinking about your instant gratification when you were laying up there feeling good in your body. That's all you were thinking about.
Yeah.
It leaves me to pay child support. That's what it leaves.
At
Well, no,
least-
I hadn't asked him for child support.
At least if you were going to have an affair outside the relationship, which I'm not saying is I condone, at least you could have used some type of protection. Why didn't you even think about that?
Your Honor, if she'd have had an affair with a white person, I'd have never even known. I know she would never even told me this.
Oh, so it's the biracial part that's causing you the problem.
No, it's not that. It's the problem that there's a low life out
believe
there not
that it
taking care
is.
of his child, and I'm
Why
going to
you
take
doing
care
it?
of it. You know, I love him just like he's my son. I love the child. I don't have nothing against the child.
And so now you know that it's not yours, and you still are willing to be a father to this child?
We got to take a paternity test to prove that, he's not mine.
Well, I don't know if you have to take a paternity test or not to prove that this child is not yours.
Both these two parents are white and the baby is biracial. And suddenly everyone remembers how genetics works. And this wasn't a miracle, this was a plot twist that no one saw coming. The dude waited for almost a decade to have a child just to realize that he was waiting on the wrong storyline. I could only imagine how quiet that delivery room got once the baby arrived. This dude went from I'm finally a dad to I need some answers in about 3 seconds. And as if this baby being biracial wasn't enough, it turns out that she allegedly had affairs with his best friends. Bro lost his wife, a child, and the group chat. And her defense is crazy. She said that she had the affair because he ignored her. But she also told him he was the father the entire pregnancy. That's not being ignored, that's being misled with confidence. You don't go and cheat and then assign paternity like it's a group project. She said, you ignored me but somehow remembered to keep him on the hook for 9 months. And then let's get to this girl's haircut. Yeah. That's a let me speak to the manager starter pack. That haircut already filed for divorce paperwork. Let's just be honest. The hair said I've been unhappy for years before she even spoke. The haircut has HOA complaints saved in the favorites. And I'm not saying that this haircut explains the whole situation, but I am saying that it didn't help the case. She walked in with a haircut that screams, I want to be heard, and biology said, I'm about to speak louder for you. The dude didn't need a DNA test. The haircut was enough foreshadowing already. I do think that he's honorable for wanting to continue to love and support this child and acting like it's his own. But I myself would be, kind of freaking out at this point. But what do you guys think?
He knew when the baby was born that he wasn't his.
I
He
didn't
knew.
know.
Well, I
Well, let
believe
me
he
hear
did.
this.
How come
If I
he
didn't know, why
signed
did
the
I
birth
wait 3
certificate?
months to
How come he
find out?
signed the birth certificate if he even died?
I thought he was my child.
Look, you're trying to shift the blame over to him. Well, first of all, because
I'm
he's
not shifting no blame.
if he knew when the child was born that it wasn't his, why did he bother to sign the birth certificate? How did he know it wasn't his? Had you told him?
No.
And just because the child came out and didn't look exactly like him, that in and of itself initially doesn't mean that the child is not yours. It could go back 3 or 4 or 5 generations. That doesn't necessarily mean the child is not yours because it doesn't look like you initially. So how did he know? He did what he was supposed to do as your husband and believing that he was the father of this child. And he signed the birth certificate. You knew. So you should have asked for a blood test and a paternity test right away. Don't try to shift it over to him because he
that's
stepped
not
up to the
right.
plate and did like he was supposed to do.
I did
Now
my
you want
job
to tell
as
me
a
something
father,
else?
you know?
No.
Because I'm not buying that argument at all.
So we was together for almost 20 years, you know?
So in 20 years, were you using birth control?
Never.
So then you knew very well that there was probably a possibility that either was you or your husband that had a medical problem. You had not become impregnated in almost 20 years. I think you were trying to slap him in his face.
I did.
You know? A man don't want to admit that he's not going to be able to produce a child.
And a
didn't want to
woman
believe
doesn't
it.
want to admit it either, but when she's
know?
angry with you, sometimes we use that to slap you in the face and say you're not much of a man because you haven't impregnated me in 20 years.
Well, if
I
our
would
marriage,
never say that.
was based on just her having a child, then I don't think we had a marriage. You know, that's the way she looked at it. If she knew I couldn't have a child, why not divorce me and let it go with that? You know, don't wait.
If
then
that's
have a
what you
child.
wanted, if you wanted a child, I agree with him. Why you just couldn't divorce him and go find somebody else and have a child? Get another husband.
It wasn't all just having a child. I mean, after so many years, I mean, it didn't bother me not to have a child. But when I got pregnant and everything, I mean, I wasn't going to get rid of the child. I wanted a child there, there it was, I mean, and I had him. What happened and how I hurt him, I mean, that was wrong.
Do you work, Mrs. Tillman?
Yes, ma'am.
And after 20 years being with the man, you guys had started some argument and were arguing over some other issues in the marriage. Isn't that what I'm told in the last year or so? The marriage had gotten a little rocky?
Yeah.
Right.
And you decided that you'd go out and have an affair and probably get pregnant, and you knew that would slap him in the face and would cut
that's
him
not
down
true.
as a man, because it's like, it's not me, it's you who can't impregnate me.
That's not true.
Well, if she'd have done it
that's not
that
true
way,
or
just
how I
got
feel.
pregnant and told me she was pregnant, that would have been a different story. Don't believe me to think I got a child and get me all excited and, I'm on top of the world and then just crumble me down from
And
on
just
top
crush
of that
you.
world.
Yeah.
I mean, I was devastated. I was hurt so bad that, I cried for days.
I can believe it.
It hurt me bad.
Because it's the story is about to make me cry now.
Not
Because
to have
it's
a child.
just, it's sad to know that you can just be so cavalier about it.
And
I mean, it's your body, but go on, what else is going on in this marriage? Now that you've paid all the bills,
He didn't pay, I mean, all of them, I mean, there's doctor bills, I mean.
who paid them? Certainly this father didn't pay them. Who else paid the bills?
The bills that I got down here are just strictly for the child.
How much did you pay for just for this child?
Just for this child, in $1,264.34.
And how did you calculate that? Based
By-
on what? What did you spend that on?
Clothes, nursery, doctor bills, bottles, diapers. Then she got all these tickets while she had the baby, and I had to
What
go
kind
pay.
of tickets?
Like
Yeah, that's what I
speeding
like to know.
tickets, driving with no license, and to keep her from going to jail, I had to pay out for that because she had a child.
You mean
and,
during the pregnancy or since the baby
during
was
the
born?
pregnancy and after he was born.
Now you're running around speeding and endangering the child's life?
No, I've never had my child in a car speeding like that. Is not
I
true.
spent
I don't know where
close to
you come up with that.
$600 just on tickets for her to keep her out of jail.
What a compassionate person.
And this is where the case stops being funny and just gets outright cruel. They were together for 20 years. She wasn't on birth control and she never got pregnant. So when she suddenly ends up getting pregnant after all of that time, she definitely knew that the baby wasn't his. And at the same time, she let this man believe his lifelong dream was finally coming true. After 20 years, she sold him so much hope, knowing that it was not true. This wasn't her being confused, this is complete intentionality. And let's not forget that this dude paid for everything. He paid the bills, the delivery, the doctor visits, her speeding tickets. He wasn't just emotionally invested, he was financially carrying a child he thought was his. And now he's asking to be paid back, and honestly, that's not petty. I feel like that's accountability. I myself believe that this case is so messy and very cold. I think that he deserves his money back.
I love her. I mean,
And the next person you're going to meet, Mrs. Tillman, is going to be like this one. Did you say you still
right,
love
I do.
her?
I still love her. I've been with her 20 years. I'm going to love her still.
And you ready to forgive her?
No.
You're not ready?
I cannot see any reconciliation in this.
Can't reconcile with her, though.
Right, because this just hurt me too bad. I went through it the other times, and I can't do it no more.
How do you feel about your husband? You still love him?
Yes, I do.
Now you realize that he's a good person, huh?
Well, he is a good person. He's been a good person all along. I mean.
And now if you had it to do over, you'd settle for that inattentiveness, I believe. I bet you too, wouldn't you?
No.
No?
I mean,
John, if I'm so
just
bad,
I'm not saying that he is a
not
bad
too bright.
person.
If you can't figure this out, that you should have settled for that.
if I'm so
If
bad,
after all of this, you're just not thinking too clearly at all.
I mean, he don't seem to care.
I don't care. I've been more caring than anything in this.
You know what? She still needs to go back and learn the meaning of that word. She obviously hasn't looked it up. Because if you don't care, I don't know who does.
Well, I do care. I mean,
No,
I
I'm
do
talking
care.
about
I
Mr.
care.
Tillman doesn't care about you. I don't know who does. Many a man would have left you long
Yeah,
time
I'm
ago
sure.
and would have left this child with nothing. I'm ready for the verdict. The unfortunate thing about this whole case is this. Under the law, that presumption is still there, that Mr. Tillman is the father of this child because he was married to you and the child was conceived during the marriage. Now, I'm ready to throw that law out the window and to have it tested. So even though I'm fully aware that that's the presumption, when you're standing in my face telling me that you know it was someone else and this child is not your husband's child and you deceived him, I'm going to order the paternity test. When people were more committed to their vows and when men and women didn't take sex as a game that you play and they weren't so free to engage in outside affairs, that law made sense. But now when people are in adulterous affairs a dime a dozen, it doesn't make sense. I'm going to order you to reimburse him that $1,264. Every dime of it. Even though the money that he paid during the marriage was earned during the marriage and it was community money, but out of the betrayal and the deceit and the lies, I think that's the least you can give this man, and it still won't make him whole, but it'll make him feel a little better. The $600 for her tickets, however, I'm not going to order her to reimburse you for that, except one half. So I will order her to reimburse you $300 for those tickets. But I'm not going to order, and I will order her to reimburse you all of the money for the medical expenses. So the total would be $1,564. Ms. Tillman, you're ordered to reimburse to Mr. Tillman. You're ordered to take the DNA paternity test. If you like, this court could assist you in setting that up. And that's the order of the court. Court's adjourned.
Well, folks, she's ordered to have to pay him back the money, a portion of the speeding tickets, but majority of the cost. And I agree with this judgment 100%. I think what she did was absolutely disgusting, and she had zero remorse for it. Accountability is still stuck in traffic for her. I mean, it's so wild. She showed zero remorse in this whole courtroom. No apology, no regret, no I messed up. She's just out here vibing. And what really sealed it for the judge wasn't just the lies, it was the complete lack of remorse. After 20 years together and knowingly let him believe that he was finally going to be a father, she didn't apologize at all. She didn't reflect. She didn't care. The judge saw straight through it clearly, and when someone can destroy a dream and feel nothing like that, the damage is already done. And I know some of you are going to be mad at me for going after her silly haircut. Guys, it's just a haircut. Calm down. And remember, if you come at me, you're defending a girl who destroyed a man's dream of becoming a father and had an affair and lied to him all the way up until even after this baby was born, telling him that it was his. So remember that when you go and defend her.